administration was not about copying blindly, but about creatively adapting, methods. So his famous metaphor, borrowing how someone sharpens a knife without copying their intention to kill, so very much captures the pragmatic approach of to copy blindly, not copying by blindly, but to adapt methods. Okay, kaya nga public administration is an art because it is a never-ending it's a never-ending story. It evolves through time, through the needs of the people, and by being able to meet the needs of the people, by meeting the needs of the people, we should adapt other methods from other disciplines. Now, as the politics administration dichotomy, one of the most enduring debates in public ad is this dichotomy that President Woodrow Wilson made in his paper, The Study of Administration. It asks, can and should administration be kept separate from politics? Now, this concept became central to the field's development. Now, although Wilson is often credited with this dichotomy, scholars argue that he never clearly promoted it. Actually, yes, inargue niya lang, hindi niya pinromote. But his ideas built on civil service reforms, kaya nagkaroon tayo ng merit-based system sa ating pagtanggap ng mga empleyado sa civil service at sa ating gobyerno. Okay? Pero the irony, ang taas-taas ng requirements sa simpleng empleyado pero ang baba ng requirements sa mga elected officials. So, do you think, is it time for reform? Questions to ponder for today. Alright. So in its classic sense, the dichotomy means separating administration from partisan politics. Because, sabi nga ng mga reformers katulad ni Wilson, removing political influence from non-political offices would reduce corruption and improve governance. However, the dichotomy was seen as essential for business-like government, promoting values of economy and efficiency, and also the ability to deal with the increasingly complex affairs of an industrial and urban society. So it countered arguments that patronage improved democracy by instead emphasizing professionalism and rationality. So this dichotomy was important in promoting the professionalization of the government because it advanced the idea that the government should be rational, scientific, and efficient. Okay? Kasi nga, we move away from the spoils, yung mga party list system, ganyan, and toward merit-based systems. Tinanggal ang nepotism. Okay? Tinanggal ang nepotism. Ilagay ang merit-based system sa ating government, sa ating pagtanggap ng mga empleyado. Now, civil service reform as a driver of the dichotomy. So there was this Pendleton Act of 1883, sa US. Pendleton Act of 1883 that institutionalized civil service reform. Now, this is the first reform in the world that introduced the merit-based hiring. Okay? Magkaroon naman ng neutrality at randomness, di ba? Sa pagkuha ng mga empleyado para lahat pwedeng mag-apply. Hindi lang yung kakilala, hindi lang yung kamag-anak, Hindi yung kaapelido na nagpapanggap na kamag-anak nyo. Alright? Now, what is the high point of the concept? So in the 1920s and the 1930s, public administration was treated as apolitical. So walang politics na involved. It is focused on efficiency. So this framing helped attract funding from yung mga nag-argue sa government, dati na yung mga against sa government, ngayon maka-government na, and foundations to establish public ad as a field of study. Napakagaling ni Woodrow Wilson. Now, beyond Woodrow Wilson, this dichotomy became part of the paradigm of PA. Kung patay na si Wilson, patay na ba siya or hindi na siya president? Yan, either of two. Frank Goodnow, one of the scholars here in public ed, argued for two distinct functions: politics for policy making and administration for execution. Now, yung si Leonard White na diniscuss natin kanina, no? His textbook further established TA as a scientific, value-free field focused on efficiency and management. So kapag si Leonard White ang tinatanong, tatandaan nyo siya ang nag-introduce ng management sa public ad. Okay? Tapos si Frank Goodnow naman, siya ang nag-introduce ng policy making tsaka execution of administration sa public ad. Excuse me. So next na tayo. Now, the dichotomy in PA and principal agent theory, this was viewed through principal agent theory that administrators act as agents of the sovereign, of the state. It is the people or the constitution. Okay? So, tandaan nyo, through principal agent, who is the principal? The principals are the people. Okay? And it is the agents, the administrators. Now, they are the ones who execute the Constitution. And they are expected to faithfully implement policies set by legitimate political leaders while maintaining accountability. Now, what is the strategic value of the concept? This dichotomy, extend tayong konti. Last, 6 slides. It legitimized public administration as a separate field of study and introduced scientific and managerial approaches. So yun yung pinakatatandaan nyo actually. The strategic value of the concept of public ad through its evolution is that aside from just executing and implementing the laws, na-introduce yung concept ng management into public ad. Now, what is its instrumental value? Separating administration from politics benefits both spheres. It allows administrators to develop professionalism while politics focused on legitimacy and responsiveness. And together, they balance the efficiency with democratic values. Now, what is the present-day dilemma? In theory, this dichotomy, yung separation ng politics from public ad, aligns with separation of powers. Bakit, di ba? Ano ba yung separation of powers, di ba? We separate the 3 branches of the government because in practice, the administrative agencies now combine the legislative, executive, and judicial function. So this makes the boundary between politics and administration strong. So kaya parang yung politics administration dichotomy, parang yung separation of powers lang ng ating 3 branches of the government. Now, the ideal of politics administration dichotomy is that it remains an apolitical civil service. Walang kinikilingan, walang pinoprotektahan. Serbisyong totoo lamang. Diba? And in practice, civil service is loyal to the Constitution and capable of serving any government on the day without any bias. But in reality, a political service is that civil servants do play political roles. Di natin maaalis yan. No? They influence policy through expertise, advice, and even the details of implementation. Hence, this makes the civil service inherently political in practice, unfortunately. Now, policy decisions are left vague. Often, legislatures leave policies vague to avoid conflict. Kaya may mga batas na malabo. However, even if may mga batas na malabo, andyan ang judiciary to interpret it. And kung di na-interpret yan ng judiciary, andyan din ang legislative again to policy-making process natin. They will formulate again the laws based on the problems from the old law. So for reflection, to end, now we reflect class. How important is political legitimacy for the politics administration dichotomy? We should consider real context like social welfare targeting, monetary policy, or human rights. The question is separating politics from administration always possible or desirable? So we end with that question. Now,